Hi guys, sorry I'm wearing the same thing, but I just did a makeup tutorial on this quick, easy, simple, casual look. If you want to see that, I'll put that right in the bottom bar. But today I just want to talk about my favorite books. I am a huge bookworm. I love books. I just want to talk about my favorites, and hopefully you guys can comment below on what you like, and we can do back and forth. I also have an account on Goodreads.com. By the way, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just mentioning that because I love them. They give you recommendations on books from what you've already read, and it just keeps track on what you read so you can get new ones and not think, oh, that looks familiar, I don't know if I read it or not. But anyway, my name is Haas. I'll leave that right here. Go check me out. Alright, and let's get started. So one of my favorite books is, I feel like this is totally cliche, of the Twilight series. I don't really like the rest of the series, to be honest. This is my favorite book. Why I like it is because new beginnings are like fresh and they're exciting and you don't really know how it's gonna go, so everything that's like new and exciting, that's what this book is. She meets Edward for the first time, she's in a different state, she's in a different school, so everything's very new. She's on high sensory alert just because of everything's new, and that's why I kind of like this, is just because it's her take of everything brand new, and this book really drawed me in, whereas the rest of the books to me seem to be drawn out and I just didn't like it. But this I like. It's like a typical love story right in its beginning stages, so that's why I like this. The next one is called Me and Emma, and it is by Elizabeth Flock. This is not for the faint-hearted. It's not a happy book, but I had to read it for summer reading in my senior year, and I just really liked it. It says, in many ways, Carrie Parker is like any other 8-year-old, playing make-believe, dreading school, dreaming of faraway places, but even her imaginative mind couldn't shut out the realities of her impoverished North Carolina home or help her protect her younger sister, Emma. So that's the beginning of it. It goes on to all the tragedies and tribulations that these two go through. It is sad, but the ending is totally unexpected. So that's why I really like this, because it drew me in and then it like hooked me. So I would definitely try this out. But like I said, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not a happy book, really. But if you're drawn in from what's on the back, I highly recommend it. My next series is a Great and Terrible Beauty series. Well, it's a trilogy because there's 3. But the reason why I like this is it is fantasy. It's about a girl, and she's in, I believe she's in London. I haven't read it in a while. Yep, of England. I haven't read it in a while, but it's one of my favorites. It's about like girl in magic in a Victorian age, and she learns all about these secrets of her mom that she never knew before when she goes to this boarding school, and then it just kind of takes off from there. If you like books that are fantasy but still a little bit historical fiction back in the Victorian ages, then I think you would like this. I recommend it. I like it. Go check it out. And again, this series is by Libba Bray. The next book, I love this book. This one is called The 13th Tale, and it's by Diane Setterfield. This is about a writer who has become really famous because each time she gets interviewed by different news media, what have you, she always says a different story of her background. So each story that she gets interviewed is not the same, and they're all different. So the reason why this brings up so much hype is because she's already very popular being an author, But each time she gets interviewed, no one knows her background. So everyone's trying to get out her background. Finally, she contacts this one journalist, I believe she was. Like I said, it was a long time reading this, so I'm not sure of all the facts. But she contacts a journalist that she specifically wants to tell her story. She trusts this journalist. She wants her to go to her house to live in with her. And the journalist, little by little, learns about this author. And the reason it's little by little is because the author only talks to her a few hours, if that, a day. So she's living with this author and only certain times of the day, for only a little bit of time, she starts to open up to this journalist. And then at the end, when everything's finally laid out and said, you realize that this author has kept a secret for years, and that the author's sister may or may not be her twin. I know. There was twin sisters. One girl was born out of the relationship that the twins were conceived out of. But this girl looks identical to the twins, so it's not until later, way later, that one of those girls dies that you realize the story of Vita Winter. Is she one of the twins? Is she not? So I highly recommend this. If you like suspense, if you like reading in general, this hooked me from page 1 to the ending. I think I finished this in one day. It's one of my all-time favorites. I highly recommend it. Go get it. Go get it. So the next book I'm going to comment is not really a book, it's a series. It's the Harry Potter series. I am a huge Harry Potter nerd. I love Harry Potter. I love the series. Not so much a fan of the Sorcerer's Stone, but all the other books I've read several times, and I love them. Who's excited for the possible new book? The 8th one coming out this summer? Who's excited? I'm excited! I'm so excited! I'm getting it. Getting it. Anyways, I'm sure we all know what Harry Potter's about. And it's great. So if you like that, read it if you haven't. And if you haven't, I think you're kind of crazy. So there's that. My last book is by Anne Brashers, and it's called Sisterhood Everlasting. And it looks like that. If you guys read The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants in high school like I did, it starts out with the green one. The green one is the first, and then the 4th summer is the purple one. I thought that the 4th one was the last book. So in high school when I read the 4th one, I was like, oh, okay, it ended. I wonder what happened to him, but it ended. And it wasn't until, literally people, check out Goodreads.com, it wasn't until then that I realized there's a final book to the series. I'm 23 right now. I'm pretty sure I read it when I was 17. So all that time, there was a book out there that told me the ending, and I was not aware until last year. So it's so sad. But the reason why this book, in all seriousness, is one of my favorites is because it's placed in the age that I am now. So it goes through all of them in high school in the previous series, and then this book is what happens to them after that time. A few years have passed after the whole high school, so it's like set in a different time period other than right after graduating college. But it's more of my age now where I could relate to those things and those scenarios happening. But it says, let me read it. It says, on the cusp of turning 30, Tibby, Lena, Carmen, and Bridget are now living separate lives, out on their own. Yet despite having jobs and men that they love, each knows that something is missing, the closeness that once sustained them. Carmen is a successful actress in New York, engaged to be married, but misses her friends. Lena finds solace in her art, teaching in Rhode Island, but still thinks of Costas and the road she didn't take. Bridget lives with her longtime boyfriend Eric in San Francisco, and though a part of her wants to settle down, a bigger part of her can't seem to shed her old restlessness. Then Tibby reaches out to bridge the distance, sending the other plane tickets for a reunion that they all breathlessly await. And indeed, it will change their lives forever, but in ways that none of them could ever have expected. It's so good. It's so good. I know, like I said, I'm not 30, but in my head when I was reading them, they were like my age, because I read them when I was in high school, so to me it kind of related. But it's really good. If you guys ever lost friends and regained them, or just lost friends total in any way, I would recommend this. It's very heartwarming. It's a good book. It ends on a slightly happy note, but I'll just leave this. They are reunited, but not in the way that you may think. So I'll just leave that. Anyways, that was my favorites so far. Once I get more, I will make a new video if you guys want. Like I said, if you like this, hit like. If you want more videos, subscribe. I will be doing more in the future. But for right now, that commences the book favorites. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.